Yeah.
Final straight.
Co-op mode unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
The 2v1.
Now then. Will the defendant, Miss LANNNAAA, please take to stand?
This is... how hard is this going to get? This is pulling teeth right now.
Miss LANNNAAA, you are the chief prosecutor.
And to be fair, it's like, please give your testimony as a gun is being pointed at your family over here. Like, knowing more than anybody how fucked up this justice system is, let's not subject her to that, you know?
I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But Mr. Edgeworth...
No.
You already know everything. You know all I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course. The truth. Distant organ noises. Just far in the distance.
Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant.
Your Honor, there's nothing I could say that this picture doesn't immediately explain. Go, 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 go. It's that Hammond breathing shot. with Caesar on the side. Yeah. Go. I mean, where's the lie?
The aura was strong.
Powerful. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Witness testimony.
Gant and the fabrication.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
I said what I said. Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure.
But Lana... If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning.
Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
What if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister.
Did you just read my mind?
Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside.
And when I speak in blue brackets, it's in my head. What the fuck? Maya?
Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself.
Yeah, that's right. Believe in yourself, Mr. Wright.
Okay, maybe it's that the floating text in like a 4 coma, in like a manga where it's like, I'm saying it quietly to myself. It's kind of out loud, but it's sort of not meant to be heard.
I see.
Maybe it's that, you know?
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Cross-examination.
Gant and the fabrication.
Worked alongside Gant for years. Hold it! Prove that! How many years, exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. I hope you've put your lie airtight together. How airtight is this lie?
Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases.
The aura. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip.
Need proof.
Yep. What do they say outside of court? It was stolen! It's bullshit! It's a scheme! What do you say in court? We're not alleging anything happened. Nothing illegal took place. It's all fine. Out of court? Ah! In court? Meow! Very important to distinguish between the two. Now, if you could look us in the eyes while you say that, that'd be nice. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him.
Lana. So that's why you fabricated the evidence from 2 years ago.
And why you're going to die now? Even though it would have been okay? But not really. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself. Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor reward knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life.
Oh?
Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but it'll never change the statement. I'll never change the statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
No, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up lies with more lies.
All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, and moved the body.
Oh, that easy. Fucking...
Yeah, I mean, the adrenaline was flowing, Your Honor. I got Hulk strength. I did one of them cool samurai catch blade breaks. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound?
And then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that?
You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
Huh?
My head isn't that bad. Maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others.
Oh, 2 branches.
Hopefully both, top and bottom. Why'd you plant the knife? Why'd you do that? Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out.
Very well. Let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Mr. Sky fabricated the knife.
I knew the tip of the weapon was found buried in his body. Excuse me. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right? Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be to have the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body.
So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound?
Yes, because I hated Dark for what he did. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence?
She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened.
In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions.
Mr. Wright, my sister's lying.
Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself.
There's no way she could have done it alone.
Gotta get Lena to talk more. If she's lying, she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay, hold on. Let's get the other branch. Oh, we don't get to do both. Okay. The knife was one. Okay. Okay, so hold on. Your crazy version of events.
Oh. You might have pressed the wrong one, according to Shivers, for that other branch.
Let me see. Press this one. Yeah, okay. Why did you move the body? You brought it to your side of the office. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Chican's desk.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there?
The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
So, when you first found the body, the jar was already...
Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it'd be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
I see.
What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently, the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
Must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted, and it had nothing to do with Emma. Yeah, that makes no sense, but, like, it doesn't have to. You're trying to get yourself burnt. Like, by your logic, you walked in, saw the bodies, and moved them because even though the knife planted, like, it's a waste of time to even try to figure out the lie or the logic of the lie, but like, her storyline is that she walked in, saw the bodies on top of it, or saw the struggle, or rather, she walked in, saw the body and the unconscious Dark, and then moved them both over to the other side, and then took the trophy knife out and then put Dark's knife in. And that was to make sure that Dark would be charged with the murder of Neil Marshall. And how does that logically make any sense if... I mean, obviously, we know why she's doing it, but I'm just like I'm trying to follow along. Like, if she walked in and the body is there, and then the blue, and then the statue knife is in his back, then isn't that enough to call Dark guilty? You know? So, yeah. Obviously, that doesn't make any sense. So, how do we break this open here? No truth in the blackmail, fabricated the evidence, broke off the tip, planted it, moved the body, pieces the charge threaten my plan. Yeah, okay, no, there you go. Yeah, that's the one. Did I press that? Pretty sure I did. Yeah. Right, so then how the fuck do you explain the message in a bottle? Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
I'm not sure I follow.
It clearly... Oh, come on. No?
You don't sound very convinced, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled.
The fact that the word Emma's written on the thing is not reason enough to say that it involves her? Okay, broke off the tip of the knife. Alright, hold on, let me press again.
Okay. Okay. Oh. Something like that.
Yeah, okay. So this statement... Wait, did you spit me out on the one afterwards? This is the one that just led to that large scene, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Oh.
Something popping up in your mind?
Yeah, like I'm doing the whole like this has nothing to do with Emma bit. This clearly does. But the press puts emphasis on this line. Let's see. Here, I'll try. Likely not the way they're going with it, though. If this doesn't work, this is the same thing. It's got her evidence. I fabricated the 2 years. That's not how it went down. Just representing the picture. Okay. Let me take a minute. I'm guessing this is also gonna fail, but I just want to make certain. When I press this, do you put any special emphasis on it? Yeah, there kind of is. Yeah. Get her to talk more.
Right.
Okay, maybe this might connect. Nothing to do with Emma. Present her handprint. Nope.
No. Okay.
I mean, the logic is not off, but it's just not what they want right now. My only vision was to get them convicted. Nothing to do. Pieces of the jar that shattered threatened my plan.
What would be the timeline with the jar?
It broke during the struggle. And then... she moved the bodies afterwards.
The jar
But
broken during the struggle?
No, because if he wrote in blood on it,
then it should have been
then it would have been the case. Yeah, never mind. But Right. Yeah. Jar not on the last line. Jar on this line. Because you don't spell on a broken jar. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery of the scene where Near Marshall was murdered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring everyone's attention to a significant contradiction within your testimony. Contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right.
Do you have a problem with that?
It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must have not yet been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar.
Order! Order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. Hey, don't swear. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical?
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed.
What?
Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony.
Witness testimony.
Jar and message in blood.
Testimony. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time.
She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
So the jar was already broken. It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier.
It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case.
But not as feeble as the judge's judgment.
Damn. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces?
Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them into dust. Well, that helps my case.
Lana, you do that for me?
It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was.
If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry.
I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
This is rather shocking.
To be safe, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation?
Lana,
I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I'd gotten them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. The detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me.
even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go.
I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene. Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions.
I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident.
No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, burn it all.
More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Shut it down. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I've finally figured out the contradiction in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. I can't pull the piece out. But one more once. Another one.
Oh my god, again.
Another one. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you are unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night the prosecutor Marshall blah, 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 blah.
Alright, let's try this again. Alright, actors back in position. Scene 43. Take 2. Action.
On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you.
Hey! But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
Objection! I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are far too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that? Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar?
Objection! Question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years?
Duh.
Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
No! No!
Gah, 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 gah.
Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness.
God damn it, Your Honor.
He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence.
But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, LANNNAAA believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create an evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the Chief's puppet.
No. I did it on my own.
Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake.
No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Lana may be right after all.
Huh? What do you mean, Wright? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Sky, if you will. I can't.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth.
Oof, okay. The entire jar to begin with. Not just hiding it, but creating it. I mean, shit. A jar to the head might knock a motherfucker out.
That might do the job. Yeah.
You know? Just in case anyone was still conscious. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
All right. The witness may testify once more for the final time. No bullshitting.
I mean...
The real thing. The real story.
I hear you, Your Honor. But how about nah, though?
Ugh.